All right, we're going to go ahead and get started. Welcome back. This is Pete, picking up some more models. Haven't streamed in a few days because of Memorial Day and just some other things, but we're going to go ahead and paint up some 40K models. We're working on these Nurgle Marines. So I started these up in the stream. We're going to work on them some more today. Maybe see if we can get to a point where we're finishing them up. And then the other model that I wanted to kind of show that I've just been really enjoying painting up is this is Landslide, who is the follower in Godtear for the champion Shayle. And you can see Shayle's got a little bend to his staff, but that's all right. We'll kind of paint it up and it'll still look cool. I'm not going to mess with this a little bit because I feel like if I bend it back too much, it will kind of snap. So kind of let it do what it's going to do. But this model is really cool. Like I said, this landslide model is really, really cool. So the idea with this landslide model that I'm going to do is I already got my base kind of stone brown kind of look to it. So that's what we're basing it with. But what I'm actually painting this up in Godtear, you have these objective tiles. So I'm going to paint him kind of similar to the way this Godtear looks. So I'm going to put in a lot of his cracks and runes, this green, and then blend it into blues. So we're going to have a lot of blue and greens kind of undertone. And you can see some of them on the base kind of color. I put some of those colors in. But we'll go ahead and we'll put those in a lot brighter. So that's kind of the goal as we move forward. Sorry, I'm going to move my paint cup up a little bit. Good. So I'm going to work on him a little bit, and then I'll go into these Nurgle Marines as I'm kind of feeling my way through that. So let's start. I don't know if I can get what I want with that, but let's start with some blue. We might have one of my buddies joining us. He had a D&D thing, so he just may be a little later. Yeah, I want a better point on that. Sorry, let's switch this up. That there, that there. That way you guys don't have to see me keep reaching across. Okay. All right, so we're going to hit some of this blue up in some of these spots. And like we said, we want it to kind of convert in a lot of these spots. We want it to kind of switch into green. So we're going to start with this dark blue, and then we'll build it up to like a lighter blue. Okay. Yeah, because I saw somebody that plays Godtear painted theirs up kind of really different, like some brightly colored stone. And when I saw that, I was like, oh no, that's really cool. You want to know what? Since Shayle, or sorry, not Shayle, but since Landslide is actually a Godtear, because Shayle doesn't believe that any living being should control the Godtears. He actually made it where these Godtears are basically given to the earth and they create these golems. So once I read that fluff and saw the model that was painted up, I was like, yeah, I'm going to paint up Landslide so it looks like a lot of his inner workings are kind of this Godtear, just to make it really kind of cool looking. Let's do this. Like I said, we might have my buddy Eric show up here soon. We'll see. Okay, I started. Let me know when you're on Hangouts. There we go. Yep, so Eric's going to join us here shortly, which will be fun. because then it's not just going to be me talking to myself. Not that people don't love hearing me talk. I do have dozens of listeners on the Rage Quit Wire podcast. Yeah, that's going to be cool. This is neat. Okay. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I'm going to kind of mess with these runes a little bit. And then once we're done with all this rune stuff, we'll go ahead and start with these Plague Marines a bit. Now I'm painting these runes, and you might notice that I'm starting to kind of bleed the blue into some of the stone here, like some of it's overflowing. And that's fine because we'll kind of make it more of like a glow effect. And we'll kind of get it even in between these rocks a bit. Yeah, this shale model is really cool. And this is kind of the brown stone that I'm going with. You could go more gray. I went with this because it's very earthy looking, and I'll put some moss on certain parts of it. There's a pretty cool technical paint that I'm going to try on certain spots for this guy. That's going to look like moss. We've been dancing with Mr. Brownstone. Yeah, shale's really cool. This shayle landslide kind of combo is a good one in Godtear. We just did Rage Quit Wire. We just did an episode on shapers, and definitely one of the top shapers in the game. For sure. Okay, and some of these we're doing blue. We're also going to do a lot of greens. So I'll keep that in mind as we're kind of doing this. Some of these I'm not exactly doing all the way right now. Okay. Do. Okay. sweet. So I will give Eric a call here. We will add our tiny man in the window, and I will unmute him in a second. We'll do this green on there. All right, so Hangouts. No, I hate my mouse has been like double clicking by itself. Very annoying. All right, Hangouts. Do. Do. Very, very catchy. Fubu. Waiting for you to not be digital here. Pixelated. There you go. You're slowly coming into focus. Did you want to do your camera, or do you just want to be part of the BSing? What do you want to do?
Do you?
All right, I mean, I have it available, so if you want to show off your model, we can definitely do that, but I'll keep it at the moment where it's just my big screen, I guess.
Sounds groovy.
And then let's put this up so it's available. Okay, and we will close out this. There we go. There we go. So that way, if you want to show off what you're working on, you can. If you want to show what your mom would give you. Here,
I'm working on Doc.
Here, I will go ahead and I'm going to switch to you. That way people can see what you're working on. Let's see here. Go ahead and transition.
I dropped it.
As you dropped them. All right, so you're working on the Doc Octopus.
Yeah.
That's cool. That's a cool model.
It is. It's pretty simple. But I got the base colors down and I got the wash on it, so I'm doing a highlight and everything like that. So it's gonna take a little bit to get that. So.
Yeah.
Go team.
Cool. Is that the only one you're working on tonight?
But yeah, that's. I mean, we'll see if I finish it. If I finish it, then I'm gonna move on to Spider-Man, and then I'm done with the commission. So.
Nice. Spider-Man is actually kind of a pain to paint.
Yeah, I was thinking so, and like he was trying to. The guy was asking if I could do like a pseudo special one, like the Ultimate Spider-Man, and I'm like, the way that the suit works is. No, I don't think I could do the Ultimate Spider-Man one because there's like the webbing already like in place, and the Ultimate Spider-Man looks like it doesn't have any webbing on there.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, because Spider-Man's just, he's just kind of like I kind of went the easy way with it. I painted up him like he. Like the wash kind of filled in the black, and then I just kind of highlighted the reds and stuff and the blues.
I can see that.
Whereas I've seen some people like line it.
Yeah, that seems like it'd be a pain in the butt, like the lining. So I'm gonna see how I can do it with just the washes, and then go from there.
Yeah.
I was gonna do kind of the end game look too, so it was gonna be a darker Spider-Man, anyways. So.
Nice.
Or is it maybe the Far From Home one? Anyways, the darker suited Spider-Man.
Yeah.
So I have an affinity for the navy blues.
The dark blue, the darkness.
Yeah, I did a Captain Marvel, and like the light blue is like really like catching and what have you, but I uh I really like the way that the Captain America that I did popped.
Yeah,
So,
well, that's cool.
yep. So what's cracking over in your neck of the woods?
Well, right now I'm painting up Shayle, who's a Godtear model, so I'm painting up Shayle's
Hmm.
kind of golem follower.
Yeah.
And it's pretty cool because what I'm doing with it is I'm painting it. So the God tiers are what the models are kind of fighting over, right? So
Hmm.
what I'm doing is I'm painting them up
Yeah.
like the background, because what the background is that landslide, which is the follower, is the one that actually possesses the God tier. Because
Okay.
Shale's a wizard who believes that no living thing should control that much power. So
Okay.
he
So he
actually,
gave it to a construct.
yeah, he basically slams it into the ground and basically sends it back to the earth, and it creates these constructs that now
Hmm.
control the god tiers. So
Ah,
he's kind of
oh, that's
fighting to
interesting.
return it back to the earth, kind of guy.
That's a bold strategy, Cotton. Let's see if it pays off.
Yeah. So I took one of the god tiers from the game, the actual hex, and it shows like this kind of cracked earth, and it shows like these green and blue kind of like lights emitting from underneath the broken
Hmm.
earth. So I'm kind of doing that with the breaks in landslide's skin. I'm kind of putting green and blue streaks in it.
Okay.
That
Are you
way,
doing that like source lighting or regular?
I'll do it to a lesser effect. Like
Hmm.
I'm not gonna go like ham on it because there's a lot of it, but I
Yeah.
will kind of build up and overflow some of them,
Okay.
especially
Cool.
some of the bigger cracks and
Hmm.
recesses.
Now, is this one your set, or are you doing it up for somebody else?
Hell no, this is mine.
Okay.
I don't put this much love into somebody else's model.
I was just asking.
It's like for how cheap I paint, they get the nitty gritty.
Huh?
The nitty gritty.
Indeed.
Hmm. So, did people die in your D&D session?
No, nobody died. It was actually a Star Wars, the Star Wars role playing, but
Huh, nice.
we are being chased off the planet by some TIE fighters, so that's fun. That's neat.
Ooh, guess what I'm playing on Saturday?
X-wing.
Nope.
Oh, what are you playing on Saturday?
I am playing some Twilight Imperium.
Ooh, nice. Fourth
And
edition or third?
yes.
Okay. Is
Don't.
it the new one or the one that we played at my place?
Yes.
Okay.
I don't know.
Fair enough. Probably gonna be fourth edition
I would imagine.
because
I would imagine so.
if it's a newer board gamer, I'd imagine that they picked up the new copy of it.
Yeah, like
Which
I imagine that's what it'd be.
there's not an overly different amount of interactions between the old version and the new version. It's just
Yeah.
all the expansions seem to be put into one, and then they simplified a couple of mechanics. And that was about it. Oh, and the models look a little bit different.
Oh
So
yeah.
I do like fourth edition's models a little bit better, like for their battleships and what have you.
Yeah.
But it wasn't enough for me to like
Pick
go
it
out
up
and
again.
drop
Yeah.
drop the $150 for it.
Oh yeah.
Now, admittedly, if they came out with another expansion for it, then I would have probably done it in a heartbeat. But I have not heard hide nor hair about whether or not they're dropping another expansion,
Yeah.
which is unfortunate because it's a really cool franchise, and
Yeah.
it's been around since like the 80s.
Yeah.
I think the original Twilight Imperium came out in the 1980s. So.
Yeah. It's a really cool game. That's why when one of the local guys asked me if I wanted to play, I was like, hell yeah. I won't be able to
Yeah,
finish. I
it's
won't be able to
definitely one of
finish
those
the
games
game
that you got
though.
to suck up like an entire day.
Yeah, that's the only
Yeah.
thing is like I won't play for the full time because they're going to be playing from 13 hours of it. I'm going to play from just like
Yeah, well,
10 till
it
whenever.
now, admittedly, depending upon how many victory points you go to, it won't be 13 hours. So, if you play your cards right, you could just like win out early on a victory point game, like just cruise straight for the victory points.
There you go.
So,
All I do is win.
because a lot of people get caught up in the like fleet combats and expansions, but you can just win that game with like 2 planets if you get your victory points.
Yeah, and honestly, I don't remember a ton of like the game specific mechanics, so it's going to be fun just kind of relearning it.
Oh yeah. Well, and it's one of those games that like, unless you have like some dedicated diehard people, you're only gonna play it like once a year.
Yeah.
I mean, kind of like Imperial Assault, unless you have like a dedicated group to do a campaign, like even then, once, and that's why like games like that are a little bit hard to like swallow and pull the trigger on, because like if you're only gonna play it for like every couple of 6 months or so, then $150 price tag is plus like a lot of space on your shelf.
Yeah, I was actually going to ask you when the last time you played it was.
Like a couple of years ago. I might end up actually playing it sometime this summer because my buddy's coming back from Florida. So,
Nice.
Yeah. I know that we'll probably end up playing some Axis and Allies and maybe some Terraforming Mars, but I know that while he's back, we have like 3 days of like gaming set aside. So.
Sweet. sounds like whenever I come into town.
Yep, pretty much. So.
It's like, hey, Eric, I'm gonna come.
Like
I'm gonna come hide.
Advance notice.
Gonna come and hide at your place.
I mean, like I said, man, just gotta give me like a month or two advance notice, and that way I can like get the time off work and everything.
Yep.
So. And it also helps that like when my buddies come back, it's not during the school year. So.
Yep. Always during the breaks.
Yep. It's so much easier to get time off during the breaks.
Well, that's for sure.
So.
All right. I think we got most that we can start building up now.
Sweet.
All right. Let's go with the next blue.
I've come to the conclusion that after painting all these miniatures that I despise yellow.
I know, and you paint a lot of yellow.
Yeah. I remembered why like speed painted my yellow and then cheated as much as we'll talk on those Imperial Fists are like all sorts of like dirty yellow. So.
Like, this is so terrible.
Yep. I mean, it's bad, man. Like, I do not like yellow at all.
Yeah, yellow can be a pain in the balls.
Yeah. Like dry brushing, like layering, it just all is bad.
Yep. Yeah, we'll see how this turns out. I don't usually do this kind of effect on models because it's kind of tricky because they're in recesses. So you want to keep some of the darker parts of the recess, but you also kind of want to highlight it a little bit. Kind of like if you did like a lava effect.
What I've done with those type of things in the past was that I did the darkest color that I wanted on the bottom, and then kind of just worked my way up from there. And then if I spilled out over on top of the main paint, like
it was with your lighter color.
I just I just went over that um, with another thing, and it's very much like you said about like the lava type painting, where you just want to go with like a little bit here, a little bit there. I'm not super good at it. I will never claim to be super good at it, but I have done it a couple of times in the past.
Yeah.
Um, like with like Wookiee shoulder pads and things like that. They've had like ornate things on them.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, this is gonna look cool. It's just it's time consuming for sure.
hmm
Just
oh,
because
definitely.
there's a lot of different cracks kind of going on with this thing.
Yep. Well, and I got your YouTube pulled up so I can see what you're working on too.
Yeah,
So
here I'll give you kind of a close up that you can kind of see some of these effects as you're kind of like it's gonna look good. Like I know it's gonna look good. It's just I got to hit these same cracks with about 3 or 4 different colors.
oh yeah, yeah. No, I feel you. I mean, like, and even then, like that finishing white, like the super fine white line
Yeah.
makes that glow pop even more.
Meow.
So yeah, I know. Rupert
Shut.
always has an inopportune time.
Shut up, Rupert. You're stretching it.
Yeah, pretty much.
Mm-mm-mm. All right. Yeah, because I got most of the brown done on this guy
hmm
because I wanted the stone to kind of be mostly done because I went with this brown stone because I'm going
Yeah,
to put some moss effect also on there with some of this texture paint I have.
nice.
Yep. So we'll see how it all comes out. Uh-uh. All right, how are we looking here? All right, let's get some of this. Little bit of this and a little bit of that. All right. If anybody's gonna watch this on Facebook, they're gonna have to come to YouTube because I'm not keeping my Facebook open.
Uh,
All right. Okay. Let's do some light of blue action. This Calgar blue. These colors are also kind of a little weird because, like, when you look at the actual Godtear,
hmm
like, most of it stays in the cracks. Like, there's not a lot of overspilling of light.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like it's contained a bit.
Okay.
So it's kind of weird. Yeah, so we'll kind of build it up and then we'll put even almost white on some of these areas.
hmm
I would say I actually my Doc Ock that I painted up, I didn't even put like hardly any yellow on him.
Yeah.
I think the only yellow I put on him was like on maybe his gloves. The rest of it I was like green.
Okay.
Hard pass.
Yeah, yeah. I did them. I tried to do them like as close to the comic as I saw.
Yeah.
So, I mean, like, I don't know, like yellow. Yellow is one of those like pleasing colors once it's finally done, but the entire time that you do it, you just hate it.
Yeah, you're like, why am I doing this to myself?
Well, and it's the constant layering and like being super careful about like making sure that you don't go over something.
Yep.
Because otherwise it'll screw the blending that you're trying to do, or like just distort the color on something.
Yep.
Yeah.
True that.
I don't even know, is Doc Ock any good in the game? Like, is he actually gonna see the table?
He can. I think that as far as bad guys go, he's not like the best, but he's not the worst.
Okay.
So I've seen people bring him, but
like in the comics, I don't recall him being like super, like really bad guy.
yeah, misunderstood.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, that seems to be the way most Spider-Man villains are, is just misunderstood.
Yeah, right.
They're the edgy, brainy villains.
I don't know. I never really could get into Spider-Man a ton because I was always.
Yeah, I mean it was all right. I watched the cartoon a lot when I was in.
Well, the cartoon was
that and
okay,
Iron Man.
but then they had the movies with like Tobey Maguire.
And then Andrew Garfield, and then Tom Holland.
Tom Holland actually brought it back around where I'm like, okay, I can get behind this.
Yeah, I have never watched the Andrew Garfield one.
I don't even know who that is.
I think I only did one. He was the guy that was on like that Facebook movie.
Sure. I'll pretend like I know what's going on. Russ says that Doc Ock is great. Problem is he is outside any affiliations right now, so that makes him less desirable.
Oh, okay.
But
yeah, so he doesn't catch like the extra stuff.
Exactly. So I think that once a lot of that Spider-Man stuff comes out, I think then maybe he'll see more play then.
That's fair.
You could play the man who has no name, Mr. Fisk.
Oh, Mr. Fisk, yeah. I don't know. Kingpin always intrigued me.
Yeah, when I saw Kingpin and Daredevil, I was like, oh, okay, this guy's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, he's just like a average Joe looking like human, but like super strong and
yeah,
like mob boss badass. So I don't know.
All right, we ready for the next blue? It looks like maybe.
Maybe.
Oh, baby. Gonna be a lot of slow singing and flower bringing if my burglar alarm starts a ringing. What you think all the guns are for?
I don't know. What do you got guns for?
Gee golly, mister.
Gosh, golly, that's right.
I got a little bit of that left. Do. Huh. Okay, this is going to be kind of a different effect. It's half the fun of when I paint stuff. I'm just like, oh no, let's try something new. And then you try it, and you're kind of just like, all right, that's actually not terrible.
Yeah. Not terrible. Not like my golf swing.
You know, I was about to say something. I was like, you want to know what? I actually told Ty, because Ty was like acting like it wasn't hard to golf. And I was like, it's like, I've heard that before. I mean, one of my buddies, we went out to play golf, and let's just say that he said he wasn't good, and I thought he was joking, and he wasn't good.
Yeah, I mean it's a struggle, man. Like I had to watch like a bunch of videos, like when we're like golfing semi regularly.
Yeah, right.
So, like just to hit my stance right and everything.
Yeah. So. Well, and you know, it's just one of those things where when you go golfing with people, you just assume that they're decent, right?
No, I told you I was bad. Like,
yeah, but you know what I'm saying? Like everybody does that. We're like, oh yeah, me too, man. I'm bad. Haha.
It's like no, he's just bad. Like I make Charles Barkley look good, man.
And that's bad.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, because what I might do is once I'm done putting in these like really bright effects, like in the cracks of this, I think I'm going to go back and then dry brush with a darker blue to give it that object source kind of light effect.
I gotcha.
Because I'm going to do it with the blue and the green. It's kind of a double whammy color scheme kind of going on with that.
No, I feel you.
I'll tell you to check it out once I'm done here with this blue, and I'll see what you think. Do. I forgot if you told me, is your RPG group, are you guys doing that online, or how you guys running that?
Yeah, we're doing it on Roll20.
Okay.
I got buddies from like Wichita and Lawrence that are in on it. So.
Cool.
Yeah.
All right. All right, I'll give you a looky-loo at kind of what I'm doing here.
Sweet.
I'll probably put a couple of slight white highlights on here
Mm-hmm.
Let me know when the time catches up with this and you can actually see it, and I'll start kind of rotating it around.
Okay. I don't know what your time dilation is.
I mean, it's about, I don't know, 15, 20-second delay there. You'll see me kind of holding it
Okay.
up. Ooh. Ah. This is live. Mm-mm-mm.
All right. I see it on the table right now. Like
Cool.
I don't see it in your hand.
It's all right. It'll come around here. I already started rotating it, but
Alrighty, there we go. Yeah, buddy.
I'm saying, and I'll dry brush kind of like darker blues around it, and I'll do the greens here next.
Mhm.
Actually,
That should look pretty slick.
yeah. Oh, where's my neon green though? That's the question. Pop, pop.
No, I like that. That looks pretty slick.
Yeah. Where the fudge? All right, it might be with my other paints. Pachow.
Pocket tan.
Yeah, which when I'm playing Twilight Imperium, thanks Russ. I try. When I play Twilight Imperium, what race should I go for? I know that's
Who do you like to play with?
I was gonna say I know that's a big question,
Yeah, yeah.
but generally I like being
Do you want to
aggressive.
be like warmongery? Do you want to?
Oh, I like being aggressive.
Okay. Okay. So if you want to be aggressive and just fight and do all that other fun stuff, get the Stardack Nor.
The what?
The Stardack Nor.
What do they look like?
They're kind of like bug people.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, they get bonuses to all their combat rolls.
Okay.
The other one that would be a good one for you probably would be the Barony of Letnev.
Yeah, why do you say that?
Because they get bonuses to combat as well as their industrial capacity is pretty solid.
Okay.
And their trade agreements like don't suck. The Stardack Norse trade agreements suck. So.
We'll see, because I don't we might do it random. I haven't talked to the guy that's running it yet.
Yeah.
So
I mean, random seems like an all right way to do it until you have one person that like knows how to play and he gets a OP race.
oh, yeah. What would you consider OP?
So, Stardack North.
Oh, are they?
Yeah. They're one of the races that like if given a chance, will just run a train on everybody. So, because of the combat.
So when you have a lot of your board game friends, do you just be like, nobody's playing this faction?
Pretty much, yeah.
Because I mean, because it's one of those things where if everything is equal with the game, the one that gets the better faction will win.
Yes. Plus, if somebody that is inherently better at the game gets that faction, then they just auto win.
They make everybody's life miserable, probably too.
Yeah. So it's the no fun div. Now, admittedly, like I said, if you get like somebody that kind of doesn't know what they're doing and they get that faction, then it can be kind of fun. But
not be super oppressive.
Yeah.
Okay.
Generally speaking, I think the Stardack Nor are a supremely powerful civilization in that game. So.
Okay, that's good to know.
Especially if their like starting cluster is pretty decent too. So the star systems that are surrounding them.
Yeah.
Because you might also have you like just do the placement of the tiles as opposed to the just random. So that might be a thing. But I'd imagine he'll probably end up just doing it random if there's a bunch of people that don't know how to play. So.
Yep, I know there's a couple people where it's like me, where I just haven't played in a while. So I think it's going to be pretty casual. It's not like a group that has played this like super heavy.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Try to catch a trade agreement as fast as you can because that helps you uh, a lot by getting resources to.
Yeah.
So. Not.
Trade agreements are just like, hey, I got this. You want that?
Yeah, pretty much. So, it gets you extra trade goods, which allows you to purchase like units and stuff like that to supplement your production.
Yeah. I promise I won't kill you.
I mean, that's an inherent thing. I think there's also promises and things like that that you can hand out as like trade agreements or like parts of a trade phase.
You could be like the turtle people and just be like, you can attack me.
Oh yeah, yeah. The Zacha Kingdom.
Yeah, yeah. All right, I think.
Channel your inner Ninja Turtle.
That's right. Except for they don't fight.
I mean, they can. They're just not super good at it.
All right, let's get this underneath. Okay. Yeah, definitely interesting.
I mean, I've always liked Twilight Imperium, but it's one of those days that one of those games that just takes up an entire day or even an entire weekend.
Well, it's kind of like when we play Axis and Allies. When I come back into town, right? We kind of just play it, and it's hard to get a game in usually.
Yeah. I mean, it's not often that we get multiple games of Axis and Allies in a session.
I know.
Except that one time.
So, except for the one time.
I think that was the fastest game. Dude, man, like we won that game in like an hour and a half.
Well, that was because what's his face basically invaded England, or no, he invaded Germany from England. He launched this bombardment that basically took Berlin.
Yeah. I mean, and I have no idea who the German player was in that game at all.
I want to say it was like Tim or somebody. No, Tim was the person that attacked. It was somebody else.
It was you. You were the Germans.
I don't think I was.
Because you're like, oh, okay. Yeah, because fucking Steve was playing Japan. And you're like, oh, well, are you finally looking over what's going on over here? Huh?
Maybe. I don't know if that was that same game, but that's how I permanently felt playing it.
That was one of the seminal Axis and Allies moments ever in my like all the dozens and dozens of games I played.
Yeah.
That was the funniest one where like Steve was just like doing things, and then all of a sudden, like he finally notices that you're in trouble, and he's like, oh, you're finally looking over here, huh?
Done conquering the Pacific.
Yeah. Yeah, our strategy that game, I think, was just focused entirely on you.
Well, I mean, to be fair, you guys have a meta where you guys just know. It's like, okay, Steve's going to go over there and do his own thing for a while, so let's beat down on Pete.
Yeah. Well, and it was also, we were pretty sure we could bait you into doing a couple of aggressive things.
Oh, that's because I'm aggressive.
Oh, yeah. I mean, but if you know who your opponent is, you can generally get those type of reactions that you want to elicit.
Yeah.
So.
Truth.
Yup.
Yeah, I never shy away from a fight.
Mm.
I'm even that way playing like a game of Commander. I'll be like, you wanna know what? Somebody's gonna die. I'm not gonna win the game, but somebody's gonna die right now.
Yeah. These boots don't look good, but they'll be fine.
These boots are made for walking.
I mean, they're fucking yellow boots. Who wears yellow boots?
Ted Mosley. Ted Mosley.
Okay. I mean, fair. I think those were rain galoshes, but okay.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. All right. And then we will dry brush. Dry brush for the win.
Good. 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 Brush those dries.
Just gonna laugh because I feel like some of the things like dry brushing kind of get lost a little bit.
They can.
Because
I agree.
I feel like some people kind of scoff at them. Like, oh, that's just dry brush. It's like, yeah, but there are times where dry brush is a super good effect.
It is. Especially if you're going for like a camo effect, like just blending everything.
Yeah. Let's see here. We're good there. Good there. Let's get kind of blue effect there. All right, I think we got most of those. Question mark. All right, I think, nope, got a couple more. And we'll show a close-up of how he's looking, and then we'll do the dry brush. Because like I said, there's a little OBS, or that's not right. Object Source Lighting, OSL. Like OBS is the software I'm using.
Acronyms! Acronyms! Ah!
So we'll use a little bit of it, but generally speaking, a lot of this has the intensity of the light kind of contained.
Mm.
Like it's kind of a weird effect where it looks like it's about to burst.
Yeah.
But not like it's burst yet.
Yeah. It's like it's about to pulse, like it's charging.
Yep. All right. We get there? I think we are. All right, so we'll get a kind of a close-up of what this is looking like. It's kind of like when I was doing the non-metallic on the dwarves. It's kind of intense while you're working on it, just because of what you're trying to achieve and pull off.
No, I feel you. I feel you.
All right, so we got kind of the bait. So we got the stonework done. We have kind of these lines done, and now we're gonna. I think I want to use this Calidor Sky to kind of dry brush that. So it's a darker blue, but it's still very, very colorful.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm about to have a lot of blue on my finger.
Blue.
Might even, now that I'm looking at it, I might even go a little darker as it kind of pulses out a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's not going to be too bad. I'm actually okay with what's going on right about now.
You know, I keep going back to like conversations we've had about how while you're painting it, like I don't know anybody that truly loves everything that they're doing from start to finish.
Yeah.
Like there's always going to be that seed of doubt of like, yeah, this looks all right. I'm super happy with it. Until you get to like that, like 3/4 of the way finished stage.
Yeah. I'm saying just sometimes you got to just kind of, you just got to kind of go with it. And like once you learn how to paint, you just kind of experience certain things. And then you just start to kind of learn what looks good and what's gonna look good.
Well, and especially with like a model that you've never like experienced painting that type before.
Yeah.
Like you're messing around with like yellows and blending yellows or experimentation and things like that.
Yeah.
I don't know. You talking about the source lighting that you're doing and everything like that. You don't do a lot of that, but you do enough of it to like feel confident with it.
Yeah, yeah.
But I bet you there's like times while you're painting it that you're like, yeah, I don't know.
This could be a train wreck. We'll see.
Yeah. I mean, that's definitively the way that I'm feeling about this Doc Ock right now.
Oh yeah.
I just don't like yellow.
I mean, that's fair.
Well, and I'm building up a yellow palette on there from like kind of that imperial dirty imperial fist yellow that I had.
Yeah.
So like something that's like more bright. So.
Well, because now that I'm messing with like the dry brushing of the blue, and I'll do the same thing with the green. I'm gonna kind of build it out where it's darker, but then I'm also gonna go back and re-intensify the inside of it.
Yeah.
Because that way I can kind of blend it and give it some more depth with some of the brighter blues on certain spots and some of the greens on other spots.
Mm-hmm.
Which is going to be cool because I think by the time I get done with it, there's going to be a lot of it where it's like where it's stone but it's blue. So it's just going to be very colorful, which is kind of what I was going for.
Yeah.
Just a lot of kind of like glowing spots out of the rock.
Mhm.
Okay. And then I think I'm ready to dry brush some of this green on there. Yeah, it's kind of going to be interesting. This is the first time I've probably done this kind of effect with two colors. So it's going to be a little interesting.
Yeah.
All right, let's do some of this green. Then we'll go back in and we'll pack in some of the lighter colors again.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Do.
That's in
Do you got apples?
there. Actually, I do,
Applesauce.
dude.
What do you think about all these sweet 40K trailers coming out?
I think it's interesting. I feel kind of like uh,
Nostalgic.
I feel like it's a blatant cash grab.
Oh yeah.
And I do feel like a little nostalgic, but like, admittedly, like I said, it kind of pisses me off because I saw the correlation between because they just did this like Psychic Awakening book series or what have you,
Yeah.
but I also saw, uh, and then they released a new edition, but they did the same thing with like Warhammer with the end time stuff,
Yeah.
and then they did the Age of Sigmar crap. Now I don't think it's going to be as drastic, but like as somebody that plays and everything like that, you probably wouldn't buy a rule set that was going to be like having to be like FAQ'd and like errated like
Yeah.
within 6 months of purchasing it, like knowingly. And I feel like I feel bad for a lot of people that like bought that type of stuff because like that badass stuff that they bought and like sunk their money into,
Yeah.
GW just like finger guns them and said, "Gotcha."
Yeah.
And then like fucking like battered wives, they're gonna try to justify it and say, "Oh no, GW doesn't beat me. They love me."
Yeah.
So,
It's kind of funny that you say that. There was a meme that I actually saw where it was talking about there was a like an 8th edition and a 7th edition player, and they were all like,
Oh yeah, yeah.
I can't believe I bought this, blah blah blah. And then there was somebody that was like, second edition. There's like, I don't want to hear that shit.
Yep,
I've
yep.
been living this
No, I,
forever.
yeah, I mean, amateurs.
Yeah, amateurs.
I mean, yeah, because like I have very little respect for Games Workshop right now,
Yeah,
and because they do shit like this, and I the models that they put out are completely and utterly gorgeous,
yeah,
but they are very proud of their models, and they make you pay for those models.
yep,
And then instead of like putting out a good rule set for things, they're gonna put out a rule set and then change it every like 6 to 8 weeks, so that you constantly have to buy more if you wanted to be even moderately successful at a competitive game.
yeah,
And I make decent money. I have no idea how anybody that makes less money than me can afford to play the game.
yeah,
And
yeah,
that's just blatant. Like, I don't know. It does not make any sense to me how GW can justify their prices and then continually upping their prices.
yeah,
I mean, I've seen the reports of what they're going to be upgrading all their price to be now, and it's I don't know. I've talked on this a couple of times, and I feel like I'm always harping on GW anytime I'm on your thing, and I feel bad about it, but at the same time, I don't.
yeah,
So,
yeah. I
I
agree.
don't know. Like, I just wonder when like another company's gonna like actually unseat them from their supremacy.
I mean, there's been a lot of games who have been like really close, right? Like, I mean, I'd argue
I mean, War Machine had its moment,
I think even X-Wing had its
and then War
moment.
Machine fucked it up. I mean, and then once again, X-Wing fucked it up.
Yeah,
So uh, I don't know what people can do in order to like capture that moment again. But I don't know. Like, I don't know how GW can continually shoot themselves in the foot and people keep going back to them. Aside from like fanboys and what have you, like,
yeah,
I mean, it has to be the gorgeous ass models, and that's all. That's the only thing I can come up with. Because like I have yet to find another company that makes models that are that gorgeous and consistent across their entire line.
yeah.
So I mean, and you delve into a lot of other games than I do. Have you found any of things that like makes them that are that detailed, that gorgeous, and that consistent across their entire line?
Um, I think Malifaux has a really awesome model line. Um,
Mm-hmm.
and I think a lot of companies are kind of getting there. Like a lot of these Godtear models are pretty cool. So I think a lot of
Yeah.
companies are there. It's just that GW has been doing it for so long and have such a big base
Mm-hmm.
that I think it's just eventually they'll get unseated. It's one of those things like who and who's going to finally
Yeah.
take it. The problem is
Yeah.
GW can produce whatever they want in house, whereas a lot of these
Yeah.
game companies they have to rely on like China and
Mm-hmm.
other places to get their
Outside
goods
manufacturing.
manufactured,
Yeah.
and I think that hurts a lot of the smaller companies.
Yeah. I mean, I think the model lines are bigger for GW as far as like how big of a faction line you can go through in
Yeah,
comparison to Malifaux. Malifaux, for example, like, what, like 15, 20 different sculpts per faction, something like that.
yeah,
Whereas like with GW miniatures, you have like 15, 20 sculpts for like a single unit.
yeah, yeah. I think that's where Games Workshop is above everybody else. Is that, and that's one of the things I miss about Games Workshop kits is just the
Mm-hmm.
sheer amount of options you have and the kit
Yeah.
bashing and really kind of specialization you can do with your faction is where like a lot of that is just really cool.
Oh, I agree. I agree entirely. Um, and that's the problem that I have is that like I want to like continually not buy their stuff or anything like that. I mean, I don't think I bought anything from GW in a good long time, but like
Yeah,
the crack addiction's still there because like there's some models that I'm just like, I might just want to put that together and paint it.
Yeah, they're like that new
But
gas
even
goal.
then, yeah, even then, it's like, man, that's a $100 model. I think
what's
for that
what's
size, it's pretty
$100?
Uh,
Some of those Primarks and shit.
no. Here, let me go ahead and bring up GW real quick.
Mm-hmm.
And let's hope that me doing all this is not going to get you demonetized for bitching about these people.
I mean, I don't care. I don't make any money anyways.
Fair. All right, so the we'll go the New Sisters of Battle.
Oh god.
I know, right? Alrighty. Let's see. Okay, so this model right here, the Triumph of Saint Catherine.
Yeah.
It's a gorgeous looking model. And can I send you a link to that in the Google Hangout?
Probably.
Let's see. Oh, there's a chat.
God, my finger is so green and blue right now. All right, so I'm gonna while you're kind of doing that, you can also look at the YouTube channel. But I'm starting to kind of I dry brushed it out, and now I'm gonna go back in and hit the
yeah.
really light blue and really light greens and some white inside of it, and hopefully that'll make it even pop more. But it's already looking pretty sweet.
That looks like
Yeah, just go back and hit that really light blue in those cracks and the white in those cracks, and it'll pop like a mother.
Pop. Yeah, I was waiting for it. Pop.
Dude, you're missing it. It's the
They've been doing this for 5 hours.
It's the largest political, or the, what do they say? Something political debate of the century or something.
Oh, yeah. It was like for student representative for a community.
Yeah.
Anyways, dude, look at the Sister of Battle model.
All right. So we're going to pull this up and we'll do this where people can see it too, maybe. New window. Let's go rage quit. Hangouts. All right. So you sent it via what?
On your Google Hangout.
There it is. Okay. Sure, yeah. All right. Holy, what the?
Yep. Like I said, dude, fucking gorgeous looking model. 4 or 5 models in one. But it's $110.
How big of a base is that? It's like in 100 mil
I think
base?
it's like a 90. I think it's a 90 or 100 mil base.
Good God.
Let me see what all it comes with. Product information. Nope. A 120 millimeter oval base.
Good God.
Yeah.
Do you remember when you used to be able to buy a
like,
Land Raider for $20? Because Pete remembers.
I mean, like, I don't remember $20. I remember like 40 or 50. But,
25 is what I remember for a Land Raider.
Yeah. Let's see. I think Celestine's in here somewhere too. She's like stupidly expensive. I don't know. let's see. There and like vehicles are always going to be like silly expensive, but let's bring up Tau for example.
Yeah.
And we'll bring up a Tau battlesuit. How much do you think Commander Farsight?
$60.
Real close. He's $55. $55 for a battlesuit that's kind of fancy.
Yeah, I'm gonna hit this back with a white. I think the blue is actually okay. You don't say.
Oh, here's a fun one. Yeah, I know, right? Where's it at? How much do you think a Riptide is?
$120.
Real close. It's 110.
To be fair, I knew that one
Here's-
because the store, Jacob's store, has one and recently got rid of it.
How much is a broadside battlesuit? You know, the ones that you need 3 of in a unit to actually be a full unit.
How many come in the box?
Just one.
They only come with one in the box? Well, they used to
Just
be.
one in the box.
They used to be like
They used to be the
$20.
Same size as crisis suits. Yes.
But I would venture 40.
They are $55 a piece.
Good God.
Yep.
Mother of God.
Yup. Dude, man, like that's the thing about GW is that their shit is just so good looking, but it's so damn expensive.
I know, right?
Yeah. And the other thing about it is that you need so much of it in order to fill an army.
Yep.
Oh well.
You ain't wrong.
I mean, it's a good thing. It's a good thing that I like started collecting years ago because like I still have a bunch of stuff. I've never sold any of my 40K armies that I primarily play.
Well, you know the good thing too, right?
Yeah.
You ever needed a little cash influx, you could get rid of that stuff.
I mean, you could, except that we're going into a recession. So.
Well, that's fair. I mean, I'm talking about normal.
No, I agree. Normally you'd be able to, but like going into a recession right now, it'd be kind of silly to sell your shit unless you absolutely need it.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, there's a lot of games. It's actually, if you have some spare money, now is like a great time to buy stuff.
Oh, agreed. I see so many fire sales on Facebook Marketplace and like eBay.
Yeah.
I just kind of like, I have to like calm myself down and be like, Eric, don't do it. Don't do it, man. You don't need another Millennium Falcon.
Tit.
You don't need to buy 40K stuff. Like you don't even fucking play 40K right now.
Yeah.
I'm like, but I could.
Totally could, man.
Yeah. I mean, I still got like all my Eldar, I still got all my Tau, I still got all my Marines.
Yeah, you do definitely a better job of holding on to that shit than I do.
Well, I mean, and it goes back to like something that Brian told me a long time ago, is that like the prices are just gonna go up.
Yeah.
And unless you absolutely need the money, or like that's how you're funneling in your next project or what have you, then just don't sell it. Wait for the price to get where you want to, and if you're ever gonna get out of the game, sell everything but like one army.
Yeah.
And that's how you'll know I'm like done playing like 40K for good. Is that like I sell everything but like my Tau or my Eldar.
Yeah.
So. Yeah.
Well,
I don't know. I got my Black Templars up in my display cabinet right now.
I have a very different opinion on games.
Oh yeah.
If I get scorned by a game, it is dead to me.
Yeah. No, like I said, I feel you.
Hear that? You're dead to me, GW. I gave him one more shot. Which edition was it? Whatever the one before this was, I gave GW one more shot, and I was just like, nope, not good enough.
It was like It was like 6th or 7th edition that you bounced back in. I want to say it's like 6th edition.
Yeah.
Because it was like right before they killed Fantasy.
Oh no, I gave it another shot after that.
Oh, did you give it a shout out in South Carolina?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Gave it one more go. Because I had some friends that were curious, and I was like, "Oh man, these models look sweet." And then I was all
Yeah.
like, "You son of a bitch."
Yeah. I mean, that's how they get you. That's how they get you.
That is how they get you.
So it's like, oh no, baby, I won't hurt you. I won't hurt you again. Don't worry about it.
I was like, maybe they fix stuff.
Dude, I remember the first time I told you about Overwatch.
Overwatch.
And you're like, what? Yeah, about like how like when you were charging your orcs into my town. I'm like, okay, well, I'm gonna do Overwatch, and you're like, what? I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna fire into you. And then you're like, okay, well, I mean, I can do fine. This is cool. It's like, and casualties come from the front. You're like, fuck you.
Yeah, that was kind of a pain in the dick.
Yup.
All right, I think we got what we need out of it. All right, let's see what we're looking like here. Lots of blues and greens. Definitely kind of cool and different. Well, I'm kind of good with it. Do I want... I'm almost wondering if I want to dull that dry brush shading down, or if that is where I want it.
Maybe.
Maybe.
Maybe, baby.
Ooh, baby, baby. Look at this knot under the light. Because I think what I might do now is actually go back in with a brown and try to recede some of it.
I gotcha.
Is that what I want to do? Da, 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 da. Matter of fact, I wonder if I could... I'm going to try something here, a little slick. I'm going to try it on a spot where I can't quite see it, but I'm going to try to see if I can use the contrast paint that I used to dull it down in a couple of spots. And see.
I gotcha.
That might look kind of cool. Because it's okay the way it is. I could actually leave it and it would be fine. I'm just kind of curious here. It's more just some experimenting. Just like in some of these darker areas. Lulu. Eric's got some apples.
I do indeed. So, have your game stores opened up yet?
So they are currently doing. Some stores are open, limited gameplay.
Mm-hmm.
The store I go to, he's not quite opening up for gameplay yet because I think he's being a little more responsible than some of the other stores,
Mm-hmm.
which I appreciate.
Yeah. Nope, I agree, and I think that's kind of the way that our stores in town are going with it too.
Yeah,
Is they're being cautious. I mean, they're still doing like pick up, carry out type stuff,
yeah,
but no like real organized play yet. Uh,
yep,
or even like I don't even think they have their tables set up for people to come in and play
yeah. Our store doesn't either.
currently. Anyway,
There,
what's that?
I said our store doesn't have tables even set up yet either.
Yeah. So I appreciate that, but at the same time, I'm still getting like an itch to play games.
Oh yeah,
There's only so many video games I can play, and so many times I can like contemplate having a buddy over. So,
yeah, right.
I mean, I think I'm gonna have a buddy over on Saturday to play some X-Wing, but that'd be like the first in-person game that I've played in like 2 months. So I'll probably get my ass smashed.
Maybe.
We'll see.
All right, so that kind of, and then let's dry brush some of this. So I use kind of this contrast of almost like some of the darker
Mm-hmm.
spots, kind of tone it down, and then I'm going to just take my lighter brown and dry brush over some of this light effect.
I gotcha.
Kind of just playing with it until it looks right.
Yeah, that's kind of one of them. I keep like messing around with stuff. Like I went and got a yellow ink, and now I'm messing around with going back over with some sepia to like go over the yellow ink in certain areas because it like gave off like a really nice effect for the ink, but I'm also kind of wanting to like not have it be like as vibrant as what it like at right now,
Yeah.
if that makes sense at all. So.
Yeah, because this is actually toning down some of the object source lighting that was kind of looking a little weird,
Mm-hmm.
which is good.
Yeah.
How's the old what's his face coming along?
He's coming along all right. I don't like painting faces also.
Yeah.
Like, especially the faces on these Crisis Protocol models, because once again we're talking about like how fine the detail is on it. Like if
Yeah.
you like get even a little bit too much paint there, just kind of like gets rid of a lot of the detail.
Yeah.
And do like thin coats over things, and you're trying to like make it look better, and oftentimes it makes it look worse.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know. It'll be fine. Like it's not gonna be great, but it'll be fine. I'm at that point where I'm like, it's solidish. So I'll
Like, is this good enough?
probably just
That's kind of what I'm doing with this object source lighting. I'm like, okay, is this good enough where I can leave it?
yeah.
So
Well,
I'm gonna leave that decision up to Eric here. I'm gonna kind of show this off here, and we'll see what it generally
okay.
looks like. Obviously, the base isn't done at the bottom, but generally
Yeah.
speaking, it's coming along, and I kind of like where it is now. So we might
Mm.
leave it where it is, and then just build up that base, and then finish off the base and put some moss effects on there, and call her good. So
Alrighty. Well, I like what I'm seeing so far, and like he looks pretty badass.
yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Uh,
I think I kind of like where I did that dry brushing effect just to tone down, just to bring more of the stone out, you know?
no, I feel you. He definitively looks a lot better than I bet you 90% of the people that paint him up.
Yeah, right.
No, it looks good.
And then
Yeah. No,
his wizard
I,
guy.
I think some moss effects like down there on the base would be like bringing everything together.
Oh yeah,
So
yeah, that'll kind of make it look like this rock's coming out of the grass and earth and whatnot.
yeah, no, it looks good though.
All right, let's go ahead and I'll at least put a brown, and then I'll wash the base, and then I'm gonna start in on these plague marines.
Plague.
My favorite Space Marine chapter.
Mhm.
Are there any shows you're watching right now, or any shows you're just into at the moment?
Not really. I mean, like, I need to finish up Picard. I got like 2 episodes left of that.
How's that? I heard
Um,
some people say it wasn't that great.
I mean, they can be wrong, but I like it.
Okay.
I didn't. I haven't liked Discovery too terribly much, but I grew up with Next Gen and seeing Patrick Stewart bring the character back to the small screen like is really good, and I think they've done it in a good way. There are some decisions that they made that I'm not like super happy
Come on.
with as far as like how they portray the Romulans, how they do things um, with technology, but at the same time, like it still kind of feels like Star Trek.
Yeah.
Also, it doesn't feel like dated, and that was one of the key things that I wanted to make sure that it wasn't just like them trying to do next gen old school, but like it actually like has a storyline, has things. I've never been like super big fan of episodic uh, uh, shows because
Yeah.
like you miss a show and then suddenly you miss like a decent portion of the story. But in the modern like DVR age and instant streaming and what have you, like episodic doesn't bother me nearly as much. It just means that I don't watch it when it comes right out.
Yeah.
So
Let me ask you this. Okay.
the
I saw this one time, and I was never sure, right? Like, that's a valid question. And the question was, if their hologram program keeps freaking out and causing all these problems on the ship, why don't they just remove it on the holodeck?
I don't know. I mean, I don't know. Probably the same reason why they don't just remove cars off the road. They just it's a technology that people have grown accustomed to and they want to mess around with. So they'll try to figure out ways to refine it.
I also think it might be honestly one of those things where they didn't know how maybe that technology was going to react to alien technology and life and beings.
Definitively. I mean, like humans in the Star Trek universe are like every sort of like redneck that you'd ever possibly imagine.
Yeah.
Like, oh gosh, golly, mister. I mean, here's the laws of physics. Well, gee golly, Whitaker, I guess I can just turn this a lot of the physics upside down and do this, and you got the Vulcans over on the side just like kind of shaking their heads like, what in the hell is going on?
You guys did what now?
Yeah, who's the what? What? He did what to the what? So, I don't know.
It's kind of funny.
Yeah. I mean, I love Star Trek. I love Star Wars.
Which Star Trek movie was it where they basically traveled back in time to when the warp engine was like designed? You know which one I'm talking about?
Oh yeah, that's First Contact.
Yeah.
That's a next gen one, and that's when they time traveled back and the Borg followed them.
Yeah.
Because the Borg were trying to prevent humanity from getting warp technology.
Yeah.
So, which I mean, if you have like different theories about how time travel works and what have you, you can't actually affect any changes to the timeline because every timeline is slightly different.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. It's one of those like exercises and thought that can never actually be proven or disproven.
I actually like the way the community did the different results, right?
Oh, the different timelines.
Yeah. They went through like what happens if they rolled like each die on the timeline, like if they got whatever result.
Yeah, that was kind of interesting.
And there's one where and that's where that one meme comes from where like people are running around, the apartment's on fire. Oh, so good.
I like Community a lot. I think it lost a lot of its after Donald Glover left.
Oh yeah, I was actually watched a thing where it was like the day that Community died, and the guy kind of went back and he evaluated the different timelines and what happened with the show, and eventually the guy got to the point where it's like honestly where it started to not feel like Community is when Donald Glover left.
Yeah. I agree.
Well, because then you just think about it, like Abed didn't have this, character to really play off of anymore.
Yeah. Well, a lot of the kooky fun left too.
Yeah.
That. So it felt a little bit forced after that too. Well,
luckily they recovered after the director left, right?
Yeah.
Or was he the producer? He was one or the other.
I think it was the director.
Yeah, but he came.
Yeah, I think it was the producer.
Yeah, Dan Harmon came back, and the show kind of picked up again in the third season, which was nice.
Yeah. Yep.
Pop up.
Indeed. I think I'm getting to that point where I'm just about done. Like with that, like I think I'm done.
What are you painting at? Like what are you on with him, or what are you calling him?
I was finishing up the base on him, but I mean I got him in a.
So are you doing anything special with those bases, or are you just kind of doing like?
No, I'm just doing up the base. I mean he paid me to do extra.
Like I think it's nice that they have like textured bases with some kind of stuff on them, but I kind of wish they were not just like a street.
Yeah, that is one of the things that I like and dislike at the same time about it is that it's already pre-done for you.
Yeah.
But like admittedly, like most of the fighting that you see like in the comic books happen in a cityscape, so I mean it kind of makes sense.
Yeah, I mean I get it, and a lot of the missions have to do with that too.
Yep.
Like save the civilians kind of thing, save the cheerleader, save the world.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Chicks dig scars. At least that's what I'm told.
So did you keep Heroes of the Storm installed this time?
Yeah. No, I didn't uninstall it for a second time. That was I mean, first off, that was an accident, but at the same time, it was mildly funny.
It was pretty
Uh,
funny.
yeah. Secondly, I don't know, like there's ebbs and flows of the game, so I'm happy that Kevin and I are doing like decent in it.
Yeah.
But at the same time, like it gets frustrating, like I did the other day, where it's like, yeah, uh, three pairings full of like just dumb people that don't actually know how to rotate.
Yeah.
Uh, leads to bad stuff. So like I'm a lot better with dealing with a beat where um, we were beaten because we played poorly,
Yeah.
as opposed to my teammates did not rotate. Um, and when I have Kevin like being the tank or being our main damage, and I'm healing,
Yeah.
I don't understand how can just like not do their damn job. Since like 90% of people seem to just want to play damage characters.
Yeah.
Uh, why they can't just know how to do their role, and they come over from other games and what have you, or they just mess around on ranked and then they don't understand. Oh gosh, golly, Mister, I need to actually rotate,
Yeah.
or I need to play the objective, and that becomes like infuriating.
Yeah. The objectives, like in any game, is just huge because,
Oh, and especially in Heroes of the Storm, where
yeah.
like it's it is the game. I mean, like it's a brawler game, but you brawl over the objective. You don't brawl in lane all the time.
Yeah.
It's as opposed to like League of Legends, where like soak is king and last hit is king, and all the nuances of the various builds for your magic items and all that other jazz
Yeah.
is king. Uh, Heroes of the Storm is basically just understanding what your role is, doing what you need to do, and making sure that you're rotating to the objective.
Yeah.
And while it sounds simple, it's not. Uh, and I feel legitimately a lot of people like mess around on other MOBAs and then come to Heroes of the Storm and then think it's just like every other MOBA, and then it's not.
Yeah.
Or they're just trolls. So.
Yeah. Oh, then you got
unfortunate.
the filthy casuals like myself.
I mean, yeah, but at least like when you filthy casual, you do it with like your your buddies that like know what to do, and we tell you when to rotate, how to rotate, and you
Yeah.
don't like play it terrible.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, generally speaking, it's like you guys will be like, "Hey, we need you down here for this," and I'm like, "Okay, cool."
Yeah.
The best way that I
Yep.
would say is I'm kind of like an athlete that is serviceable, but I'm not going to give you those
Mhm.
awesome numbers.
Yeah.
I give you those amateur numbers,
I
right?
can feel that. I can feel that.
Got to pump those numbers up, up, up.
No, like I said, I can feel that, and that's you don't need to be like a stellar like playmaker in order to win. You just need to make sure that you're where you're supposed to be and when you're supposed to be.
Yeah, it's like, what's the game plan? Okay, let's do it.
So I mean, like every now and then people are gonna mess up on like rotation. Every now and then people are gonna like get a bad engage, and that happens.
That's really where I would say I get caught up the most is I'll engage where I shouldn't, or I'll get picked off because I kind of do something random.
Yeah.
And then I'm just like, whoop, that was bad.
No, I feel you, and like I think it's as long as you can manage the bad pickoffs, then it makes it so that the plays that you do make are better. And if you are rotating when you're supposed to, you can generally catch people out of position as well.
Yeah. I love just painting like models that have no business being painted next to each other. Like this Godtear stuff and then the 40K stuff. It's like, why are these all being painted up at the same time? Because I like the taste.
Yeah. It's sterile.
It's sterile, and I like the taste.
Mm.
Cool. I'm gonna probably do a little bit more, and then I'm probably gonna call it done here in about 5 to 10 minutes.
Okay, cool.
And we'll see what progress
Enough for me.
you have also made.
I called it good on Doc Ock, and
Ooh, what you
started
starting on
to
now?
do some base colors on Spider-Man.
Nice. Red and blue, man. Red and blue.
Yep, pretty much red, blue, wash, and then pick out details.
I think if you do the different paint scheme though, that'd be kind of cool, like the different blue and stuff.
Yeah, I'm doing the dark blue. I'm doing the dark blue and a dark red.
Nice.
And then like I'll pick out some of the spots with the brighter red
Sweet.
to make it like pop.
Yep.
Pop, pop.
Pop, pop. I'm playing some Malifaux tomorrow on Vassal.
Yeah.
And I'm dropping a master I've never played before. It's gonna turn out beautifully.
Oh. Okay. I mean, have you at least like theory word him?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
A lot harder to
I mean,
play.
that's the important thing.
Yeah, it's just a lot harder to theory craft and then play successfully in Malifaux.
Oh yeah, no, I feel you. I understand. It's like me dropping a brand new pilot I've never found before, really, in X-wing. So it's like I can understand the theory and everything until I sit in the driver's seat.
And then you're like, oh, this is how that works.
And it's like, oh, okay, cool. I can boost and barrel roll. Oh well, hell no, brown cow.
Let me ask you, what faction do you like playing most in X-wing? Or which pilots do you kind of lean towards? Like, are you an Imperial guy? You like the Rebels more?
I'm a dirty Jedi player.
I also like the Imperials,
No. They're the Republic.
What do you mean? There's a Republic faction?
Yep.
Oh.
Yeah, no, it's follow the Jedi type stuff, like Clone Wars.
Oh, cool.
So, yeah, it came out in 2nd edition. So.
Okay.
Yeah, no, they're pretty fun. Okay, so you know how all those like fun repositions that like Suntir Fell and those other like Imperial aces can do, right?
Yeah.
The Jedi can do all those, but they spend Force in order to do them instead.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, they're nimbly bimbly. They're just as fragile, but they also can hit like a Mack truck if they get the right mods.
So, that's pretty cool.
Yeah. So what they end up is their chassis is really pretty maneuverable to begin with, and then they get the option to after they complete a maneuver, they can elect to spend a Force to do either a boost or a barrel roll.
Mm-hmm. Do a barrel roll,
and then they can spend then they can do their regular action. So you can boost and barrel roll if you need to in the same turn. So they can double reposition if they need to.
Yeah, I was a big Imperial guy when I played X-Wing just because I liked a lot of the Echo pilot was really cool. Just because I like
pretty cool.
I like doing these like
pretty fun.
Yeah, I like doing the basically you do these surprise like bend maneuvers, like so instead of a normal barrel roll, you do like the 90 or whatever it was.
Yep.
That was a lot of fun.
They are still pretty solid. However, like in the hyperspace format, they're not as solid because of the restrictions and what have you. So think of it as like limited as opposed to modern.
Yeah.
When it comes to Magic.
Okay.
Let's see. I also like playing First Order. First Order is pretty fun.
What about
with like Kylo Ren and some?
Which faction does the Millennium Falcon kind of prescribe to?
So Millennium Falcon could be in 3 different factions.
Oh.
It's in Scum. It's in Scum. It's in the Rebels, and it's in the Resistance.
Okay.
So.
Because I used to play a lot of Fat Chewie too.
Fat Chewie's still a thing. Fat Chewie's still a thing. Fat Han's still a thing. But like, it isn't nearly as good just because of some of the mechanics to the game changing.
Yeah.
Let's see. I really want to make like Dash Rendar work, but he's kind of too expensive for what he does.
Yeah.
I mean, the Outrider title is like 14 points.
Yikes. He used to be really good.
Yeah. Oh yeah, and I think that's why they keep like not making them good in second edition.
Like, do you remember? Because we do.
You got that for Charm, remember?
Oh man.
Yeah. So right now, let's see. Scum is like has a lot of cards in their deck right now, just because of how Boba Fett and Fenn Rau work. So those two are pretty silly.
See, the thing is, like, I'm not a huge Star Wars dude, but if people started playing that game again, I would totally be in that game.
Oh, dude, it's a fun game, man.
Yeah, because all the piloting actions and just all the kind of the way that you have to plan before it goes, and you just have to choose better dials, and its order of operations, it's a lot of fun.
I agree. I mean, you gotta play 2 turns ahead, just like chess.
Yep. And you gotta not fly off the board.
Well, not only that, but like I can fit everything in my X-Wing collection inside of a tackle box and like take it everywhere. And it's like that has like 5 or 6 factions worth of stuff. So
yeah, that's definitely a game where, when I come out to Kansas, whenever that's going to be next, it'll definitely be a game you and I can throw down and just have fun playing. Just drink some beers.
Oh yeah, well I can play it on my table too in the kitchen, and that's one of the big things about it too.
Yeah.
Is that it's like smallish, so you can play it just about anywhere that you want to.
Yep.
So, it's kind of funny. I even thought too about like hitting up a couple of my buddies and being like, "Hey guys, it's not too bad out at the park. Let's just go steal a picnic table and play out at the park."
You know what? Honestly, also if you wanted to play that on Vassal or not, I don't know, probably Tabletop Simulator.
Tabletop Simulator is really good.
Yeah, I'd even run a demo through that.
Yeah. No, it'd be interesting. I mean, you have Tabletop Simulator, right?
I do.
Okay. Well, I mean, like, I'd be down sometime this week, I suppose. I go back to work on the 8th, so sometime between now and then would probably work.
I was gonna say I'll a little busy. Do I have any? The only time I think I might have something on Friday I could do.
Yeah.
I don't know what I don't know what you're doing Friday.
Don't need to pressure yourself. But that's if we were playing like during the day. I mean, most of my evenings are free. So.
Yeah. I'll let you know.
Okay, cool.
It's definitely, like I said, it's fun piloting those. Just like I said, for some reason, like it died hard. It died hard here in between, editions and stuff, and it has not picked back up.
Wasn't Evan like a big old X-Wing guy?
He was. He just, I don't know. It's been hard for him to just stick with the game.
Okay. Well, I thought he was a big X-Wing guy. That's why I was asking.
Yeah, he was, and then he kind of had like his whole family fallout thing, and had to deal with real life problems.
You gotta deal with that.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I feel you. So I mean, especially like if you have a cult of personality around a game, like a guy that's like the essential like motivating driver of the game.
Yeah.
And then suddenly they either have like something happen in their personal life, or they just fall out of love with the game.
Yeah.
Then it's really kind of a death deal for a game. I mean, I think that's why War Machine bit it so hard here, was that like when they did away with Press Ganger, I was just like, nah, I'm done. I'm done. So got kind of bitter.
Oh yeah, me too.
So I mean, like, you go through all that work and effort, and then they're like, no, fuck yourself.
Don't piss on me and tell me it's raining.
Oh yeah, I mean, it's like that was the other thing too, is I wasn't even doing the Press Ganger for like kind of the stuff, like I passed all that stuff on to like prize support.
Yeah.
It was the fact that it was actually a company sponsored like commitment to competitive play.
Yeah.
And building the community and growing and everything like
Well,
that.
I told the game store we were playing, and that thing died. I was like, hey, unless you kick stuff in like for prize support, like
Yeah.
I don't have any incentive to give these dudes to keep coming out to it. I was like, this is just something I don't have the money to dump prize support stuff into. So.
No, I feel you. I feel you 100% on that. So.
Yep, and we're kind of doing some cool things here. So I don't know. I'm gonna pop over to Eric, and we're gonna check out Eric what you're working on there.
Oh, don't look at me!
Let's see.
I need to put the model in front of the camera.
You do, because now it's looking at you, kid.
Okay. I'm just putting base colors on Spider-Man. I'm going with a dark blue and then kind of a dark red, and then I'll pick out some of the details and then wash it and then see what I need to do to brighten it up to a little bit brighter than this current stage right now. So,
yeah. What about the old Doc Ock?
Oh my God, yellow.
Let's see them cans.
So, Jesus. So
that's not too bad, yellow.
No, it's not too bad. But I spent entirely too much time like trying to make it look
like layer it up, yeah.
So, yeah. So, but I need to finish up the base with the going over the concrete again just to brighten it up. But,
yeah.
That's about all I got.
Nice.
Yep.
All right. Well, we're going to kind of wrap this thing up. I just want to thank those people that kind of checked it out while we were streaming. Also wanted to thank people for checking it out on the Final Round Game Shop Facebook page. Just make sure that you guys are supporting your local game shops, whether it's Final Round or whoever your local game store is, because hopefully they're getting ready to slowly open back up, if not to play, but also just to sell stuff so they can make money and make it through this thing. I mean, that'd be preferable.
Yep. Honestly, guys, like if you don't support your local game stores, then you generally don't have places to play.
Yeah, and that's one thing I think it's hard for some people to think of, because I see people go into stores and they'll be like, oh, well, I can buy this cheaper online. It's like, well, no shit, you can buy it cheaper online. It's like, that's not the point. The point is, if you don't buy stuff from your store, then you're going to end up just playing in your house. And if you don't have space in your house, then you're not going to play. So try to think of that kind of stuff as you're spending your money.
Honestly, and like community is the biggest thing. Is you make lifelong friends playing games.
Yep.
So,
all right. Well, with that being said, we will see y'all next time. Make sure that you guys roll dice and throw salt and